Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode on the channel. So today I'm featuring the Samsung Galaxy X Cover 4. And my question I had is this device still relevant today? And can I use it as an everyday device? So this device was created by Samsung to be rugged. As you can see down here, it has 3 function buttons. It has the back arrow, it has the home button, and it has the multitask button where you can clear all of your tasks. On the side of the device, it has a volume rocker, it has a function button. So this button is set up currently to turn on the flashlight, which is very handy when needed. And it also has a power button. So this device features a 1.4 gigahertz quad-core CPU, 2 gigabytes of RAM, and 16 gigabytes of internal storage. So I'll just pull up some of these settings for you right now. So when using this device, it seems pretty speedy. It's not super slow, but you can definitely tell if you used a higher end device that this device is lacking a little bit in features. So as the device is just bringing up the specs here, you can see that it has an optimized area, but what we're looking at is storage. So this device does take a little while to load certain tasks, but it's that's not too reasonable. So right here, you can see that I'm using 8 gigabytes out of the 16 gigabytes that they give us. For memory, you just have to wait for the device. It has about 2 gigs that you can use, and 1 gig is currently used. So these aren't super high-end specs. And you might be thinking, well, how much is Samsung charging for this device? You can find this device on Amazon for about $400, or if you get it used, you can get it for about $200. Now, that is quite a bit of money that you would be spending on this device, especially in 2019 or 2020. This device, though, is really good if you have a teenager in the family or someone who drops their phone a lot, because I have dropped this phone and I haven't had any issues. Now, so the camera quality is not the greatest, but there was a recent update which made it slightly better, and it is a little bit better when it's taking videos or pictures. So the battery that's inside this device is actually removable. So this is actually a feature that I think the device has, because many devices do not have this feature anymore. So as you can see in here, this is a removable battery. It has the SD card on the top tray, and underneath that it has the SIM card. So it's not a nano SIM, it's just slightly bigger. It's a micro SIM. So the battery is removable, which is really nice. And this is actually quite a neat feature that I wish they had it on a lot more devices. Because if your battery did die, you were able to swap it out with another battery. These batteries are very difficult to find though, like the Samsung OEM batteries, but I remember when I had the Samsung Galaxy S2, I was able to swap batteries without any issue and continue on with my day. So this battery, you can see the specs right down here. It's only a 2,800 milliamp hour battery, and this is quite small, but think about this device. This device only has a 1.4 gigahertz processor. It doesn't have Snapdragon processors Now, it is a quite small battery, but this device doesn't have a Snapdragon processor. It has the Exynos processor, at least the device that I have. And it doesn't really use that much battery while it's on. You can get through most of a day. I'd say maybe 4 to 5 hours of screen on time before the battery totally dies. So this is pretty good if you're using it as just like a work phone, or if you don't really use your phone that much, because the call quality is still very crisp and texting works just fine. Once you get into some gaming apps, it starts to get a little bit glitchy, just because it doesn't have too much specs to back it up. So there still have been updates for this device. Samsung just recently updated it. So the last update was installed on September 29th, 2019. And this is pretty good because this device I've had for over 2 years. and it is getting quite old. They have came out with a new device that is a Samsung Galaxy S Cover 4S, which actually has a little bit more specs to it, and it's a similar design device to this one. This is the original though, and I really like what they did with the device, and it's quite portable, and you don't feel like you're gonna break it like most high-end flagship devices that are out nowadays. The phone is water resistant. It does have a little seal that goes around the back of the device. Even though the back cover does open, it does have this seal here that you can see, and it's supposed to be waterproof. It's supposed to be able to go to 4 feet of depth. I wouldn't fully trust this because you can see that there's no seal up here, and water might get into here. Just as the device gets older, some of the seals might not be as good on the inside of the device. But I have used this device in rain without any problem, and I haven't really worried about it getting wet because of how cheap it was back when I purchased this. So when I originally purchased this device, it was only $287 Canadian. It's now selling for $400 on Amazon, but that's because many stores aren't selling this device anymore, and a lot of people aren't interested in buying a Samsung Galaxy X Cover phone anymore. So another selling feature of this device is you're supposed to be able to use it with gloves. I did have a little bit of difficulty using this device with gloves when I did use it in the past. The gloves, you have to have very thin gloves or gloves that have the touch capabilities built into the gloves to be able to use it. It doesn't work very well with thick gloves. You can obviously use the home keys to answer, to check your messages or to see what is going on with your phone. Now, something that I really liked was this programmable key that they put in this device. So it originally comes set up as a flashlight, and I haven't changed it, but you could change it to many different features. And I like that it wasn't set up for Bixby like the Samsung Galaxy S9 or the S10. So here are some of the options that come up when I press the X Cover key, what it could do. So it could open a multitude of apps as a shortcut instead of having to go to the app directly. I do personally like the flashlight as something that it's able to open right away. Now, when going to the App Store, I'll download a couple of apps just so that you guys can see what the actual speed of this device is. Google Home. So these are just a couple of the top charts free apps. I'll install Snapchat. Now, when you do use this device for Snapchat, it is quite laggy. It isn't something that you would want to be using Snapchat on. For Instagram, it is fine. Facebook is okay. But with Snapchat, it is slightly laggy just because the camera is not that good and there's not that much RAM in this device. But if you're using something like Microsoft Outlook, this device will excel in that because it's designed to be more of a functional device and not so much a gaming and social media device. So these apps are installing. It doesn't install the quickest. My Wi-Fi is pretty quick here. But as you can see, it's not super fast. I'll go for the update. The Wi-Fi that's in this device is fairly fast for what you're paying for, but it isn't so fast that it would be better than any other device. You can see the installs, it's downloading. Here's a good example. Netflix downloads pretty fast and then it installs fairly quickly. So just keep in mind there's nothing on this device currently, and I haven't actually been using this device. So it is quicker than what it would be if you had all the networks on, like data and texting. So you can see how long Netflix takes to install, but it's fast for a budget phone that's 2 years old. Now, when going to the internet, so overall this device is still pretty functional. And it would be good for someone who's in high school or someone who's not going to really use their phone that much. It's good as a budget device if you can get it cheap somewhere, and it'll still do most of the stuff that you want a cell phone to do today. Obviously, it won't be the fastest cell phone. The speakers don't sound the greatest, but something it does have going for it is it still has a headphone jack. which is something a lot of devices no longer have today. One other thing that it has is it charges with micro USB. It does not charge with the new USB standard, but sometimes that can be a feature with a budget device because you might be able to find micro USB cables cheaper than you would their USB-C counterparts. So thanks for watching this video. Let me know if you like this type of content. Drop a like, comment down below. Thanks for watching.